Hello, everybody. How are you doing? BeckyRaney here, and it's been a while since I've gone live, and I'm really excited about this. I have some exciting things I've been discovering or working on, and I thought it would be really fun to share. Um, and all this conversation is about would you hire you? And what I mean by that is working in the network marketing, working in the different fields of your own self-employment, self entrepreneur type conversation. How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you keep yourself on task? And it takes a large amount of discipline. And as a counselor at a suicide prevention center, I've been recognizing some of the doubts and disbeliefs that people have on their own, and I see some similarities on what it is that people think and don't believe or believe that's not true type of conversation. And I came up with this really fun analogy or assignment that I would love to share with you in hopes that that would make a difference for you as well. And this assignment is, would you hire you? Meaning, really do an assessment of, when you go through and you're applying for an actual job, like at a grocery store, at a manufacturing plant or something, it doesn't matter where, but you write up a resume and a cover letter of all your best skill sets. And so I would like you to do that as an employee to yourself, is write up a cover letter and all the good values that you have, all the good skill sets, and then write up a resume with the qualifications that you feel that you have. And then on a side note, write down the things that you need to have as qualifications too, right? And and so what I'm getting at is if you were to look at you as the boss of your own business, you as the boss of your own business, what kind of person do you need to hire for that job? So when we owned our print shop, I mean, I hired tons of people and it took me forever. Like when I ran my business at the print shop, I'm going to say the first 5 years were miserable. I was the worst boss. I'm sure of it because I didn't know exactly what it was that I needed. I mean, I didn't understand my structures. I didn't understand the systems that I needed. I didn't understand the skills that needed to have for different areas. And until I actually sat down and did a flow chart of really what's expected of our business. So think about this as a flow chart, what is expected of you to run your business. And then put out a job description of that kind of person that you need to fill those holes, right? So write out as a business. So if you can separate yourself as an employer, like Boss Becky, right? Boss Becky needs this kind of employee. And then that's the employer part. And then come at it as the employee. Like employees have different job skills, right? Than a boss. The boss has to be visionary, looking at things, making sure things are on task, the structures are in place, the systems are in place, da 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 da. An employee does the work. So when you're an entrepreneur, like running a network marketing company and stuff, you're both. And you're in real estate people, insurance people, all of this, when they're self-employed, they're both. And a big mistake is that we tend to not be accountable to ourselves. And so if you are a boss, so boss Becky is going to write out a job description of what needs to be done, what kind of skills that this person needs to have, what's expected. Like when you go to fire somebody, it's because they're not showing up on time, right? And so being your own boss, you have to have an accountability structure of better show up at 8 o'clock every morning dressed and ready to go. Better, you know, look the part, do the part, have a checklist of things to work on throughout the day, things like that. And as employee, you do the work, right? And then you have to like hand that in to your boss and say, how was this? Did this get done right? That kind of stuff. And so it's really kind of a powerful conversation when you really sit down and do the work as boss Becky, like yourself, like you are the boss, what is needed to be done in the business. And then as the employee, what do you need to do? Right? So I want you as an assignment. This is a really great assignment to consider doing is doing a job description of what that role needs to be done and what's required. Do do your job description first as an employee, because you're going to look for a boss to be able to hire you. You're going to go around and look for somebody to actually hire you. And so, what are your skills? Now, I gave this assignment to some of my clients at the center, and a lot of the clients would come in just like really, when you're depressed and when you're not feeling right about yourself and you have low self-esteem and a lot of things happening. What I found is when they did their own job description, or their own not job description, their own resume, they started to recognize all their sellable skills, all the great things that they're really good at. And when you write out that resume, you really put a glowing kick to it, right? You really want to have put your best self forward. And in the action of them actually writing out that resume about themselves in a cover letter, I had them read it to me, and they just shined and really felt really great about it. And then, as boss, would that boss hire that person? Do they fit the needs that need to be done for living your life, for your goals? Now, if you don't know what that is, then you might want to consider doing a dream board and thinking about all the things that you want to accomplish in your life. Like, what kind of mom do you want to be? What kind of financial stability do you want to have at a certain amount of time? All these things are really important to consider, because it's the future you're living into that gives you who you're being in the present moment. And what I mean by that is, if you're thinking about the past and all the mistakes we've done, all the things that we don't have, and putting that forward, you show up as this person that's not hireable. You show up as this person that has mistakes and that is not perfect, which is everybody, right? Everybody has mistakes. Everybody's done things in their past that wasn't so perfect, right? And so when we look at this in the nature of network marketing, and a lot of people hate network marketing. A lot of people have conversations around, oh, I had somebody come to me and they tried to sell me this, this, and this, and it was all about the sell. It wasn't really about my needs. And the old ways of network marketing is no longer valid. It's kind of like if we talk about car salesmen. Yeah, they're still valid, right? But you've seen a lot of online purchasing now. People will actually order their car the way they want it and not deal with the car salesman, because they don't want to be pushed or talked into something they're going to regret later. That is the problem with network marketing, is you have a lot of people who don't have the talents and skills to know how to be of service and to be really listening into the person's concerns and being able to map up some help and understanding of what they could use and to guide them along the way. And so, who you're showing up, take a look at that as your job description. Take a look at that, what is really required to be of service. And what I love about doTERRA is we do lead with service. That is the most important thing. And so getting rid of the old dinosaur type of conversation, when you're up leveling who you are for the world and what you want to do and accomplish, what your contribution is. I was talking to another gal who we talked about, so who you were when you were younger, like what your skill sets were, to who you are now and what your skill sets were. What are you going to need as skill sets in the future? And being able to think about, you can't really know unless you're actually in action and applying something. And our whole life is polishing. Do you remember the movie Karate Kid, where Miyagi was telling the kid to paint paint the fence like this and polish the car? Well, that's what we're doing our whole life, is to working on our skills, working on all the different things. Now, with that in mind, why is it that we have a mindset that doesn't have us move forward when we know we have these great skills? We still like stop at at having our best life. And then we have all these fears and nerves and anxiety around it, right? Consider your true authentic self is already there. But all these other people's opinions about you, all these other beliefs that people have about network marketing or whatever those conversations are, you do not need to take that on. You do need their low opinion about something because of their past experiences does not need to be infused or dumped on you. You need to find those boundaries to be able to have your true authentic self as boss Becky or boss whoever your name is, and employee Becky or whatever your name is, to be able to come together and have good habits, a strong mindset, like really working on a mindset that's going to be penetratable of their beliefs or other people's thoughts that will drag you down. So, um, I hope this was helpful for you. I would love to see and hear the different resumes that you come up with yourself. I would love to have you go through that practice of really working on your great skills and seeing what you have to offer for the world, and really know how amazing you are. Really know what you have to offer. And so your boss self will actually work on hiring you and exploring how that they can put you in the right seat of the bus to be able to make a huge difference for your future self. So give me a thumbs up if that worked. Like my video down below and share this wildly if you'd like. I would love to hear what your comments were. And thank you for joining me. I hope to be doing these a little more often. And we'll talk to you soon. Okay. Um, Take care. Bye.